Do not get disappointed. You have been practicing Ashtanga yogas quite a long time, say more than 35 years. But the thing is, any yoga, unless there is a separation from the reality, yoga has to take place. Yoga means binding. Viyoga means in Sanskrit separation. Okay. Ashtanga yoga is excellent, there is no doubt about it. But the mind has to adopt. Say you are practicing only with the mind. Body fitness on one side, pranayama, pratyahara, the other one, is it not? Dhyana, dharana, samadhi, kriya. Dhyana, you are making the mind one pointedness. Dharana, you continuously do hold it. Samadhi is nothing but the mind is totally defunct. You please do not think that you have wasted your life. No. There are no benefits, material benefits you get out of this yoga practices like Kundalini, Ashtanga yoga, or any other yoga. Bhakti yoga, Karma yoga, Jnana yoga. These are all some of the practices for the benefit of the sadhakas, practitioners. They don't give you any enlightenment. The mind must be still. In the stillness of mind alone, the reality shines. Whatever may be the path you choose, depending upon your hidden tendencies, ultimately the mind has to come to a zero level. That means thought-free, still mind. The ego is totally disappears. The individuality is a lost sight of. So, you have been practicing, no doubt. But how long and what for? To get something extra? No. In the pranayam, in the breath control, a violent mind can be silenced, that's all. Your sense organs will always make the mind to go astray into the world, into the areas where it can enjoy. So, keep those sense organs in their place. One should develop a desirelessness and the dispassion from the very beginning towards the worldly aspects. Okay? You have to understand, you are not this body. You are a possessor of the body, that's all. A possessiveness doesn't mean you are that. You say, this is my body. I and mine, the ego only says. But here, ego is found to be non-existing. If you are getting the thoughts, go to the root of the thought. Root thought is simply disappears. Only simply awareness will be there. The pure consciousness will be there. That is your reality. It is not to be achieved by any practice. If you practice something, what do you expect? You get something extra. No. In duality, everything is apart from you. The body is apart from you. God is apart from you, family is apart from you, even the world is apart from you. That is your feeling, is it not? So, you should develop a mind devoid of a thought, rather a thought-free mind. Don't think a thought-free mind is going to trouble you. No. It will give you an eternal peace, an eternal bliss, an eternal existence. Thoughts are your obstructions. Your effort is an obstruction to know your true nature. Your nature is shining as I amness. I am there, I am there. I can't explain you in words what is that I amness. It is simply an existence by itself in which there is no creation, there is no birth and death, there is no attachment, or there is no what we call salvation or liberation. All these words are only mere for the mind only, for the ego only. Since you have developed a bondage towards several things, you wanted to get release out of the bondage. The bondage is a thought, the release is also a thought. So you should keep the mind thought free. Suppose there is a thorn pricked into your foot. What do? You take another thorn, remove it, throw both of them. Like that, if anything is binding you, you develop a thought of dispassion, detachment, what we call Tivra Vairagya in Sanskrit. Dispassion, total dispassion. Nothing to be achieved. You cannot achieve anything. You are already that. Awareness. Without awareness, the individual ego cannot exist at all. But without the ego, the existence exists eternally. So you need not disappoint yourself. Have the courage to drive away the thoughts. In your narration, I could understand your mind is restless. Despite doing several years, so many yogas, finally nothing is achieved. In fact, there is nothing to be achieved. You don't get anything extra. As I told you earlier, a thought-free mind alone is the real existence. A thought-free mind alone is a blissful state of reality. These are all indirect perceptions when you see through the sense organs. Such things should be avoided. Don't make your indriyas, means sense organs, run helter-skelter for their happiness. So, kindly look within. You need not meditate up anything. In meditation, the subject-object relations, the aspect of meditation, we call it as tripti, is there. No such thing is needed. Simply stillness, simply silent. You must make the mind, I will repeat it once again, devoid of a thought. Thoughts develop because of the attachments. Thoughts develop because of the earlier enjoyment of the senses. They leave the traces in the mind and make you to repeat them, so that you can enjoy the life. This body slowly decays. Body death is not your death. Body birth is not your birth. Body may be there, doesn't matter. Unless you are conscious of the body, you do not know what is happening within the body. Unless you are having the passion for the sensual pleasures, you will be going, as I told you, helter-skelter, here and there. The silence alone will establish your true nature of peace, true nature of awareness, the true nature of your real existence. Your existence is not this body. It takes birth and death at a point of time. You go beyond time. You please do not think about the past. Don't project anything in the future. Make the mind dwell in its root. A thought-free mind is the only reality. You need not worry. Don't get disappointed. You missed something. You could not achieve something. There is nothing to be achieved. You be comfortable, be active in all fields, but don't think you are a doer. You are an instrument in the hands of the higher power, the awareness. Okay? God bless you. Be happy always. Not so easy is also a thought which obstructs your reality. Why do you want to practice yoga? What is that you wanted to gain? What is that you wanted to lose? When you introspect, there is nothing to be gained, nothing to be lost. There is no such a situation. So, do not go after any practice, first of all. The moment you start the practice, the ego comes into the picture and drags you away from that. It's also a thought, is it not? Develop dispassion, develop detachment. If you can still your mind, nothing will trouble you. You don't think that you have to achieve something. That itself is a wrong thought. You are already, that awareness is within you. That consciousness is within you. That expanded blissfulness is within you only. You are that only. For that you need not practice anything. A simple silence will establish you in that eternal truth of reality. So, in the beginning, it is okay. Because the mind going here and there, to keep the mind intact, practice pranayama, practice dhyana, that's okay. But how long? How long you want to practice? So go to the root. What is that root? Ego root. You say, I am practicing. Who is that I? In fact, such an I is not in existence at all. Only the awareness is in existence. Is there any moment when the body says, I am the body? No. Is there any moment when the world says, I am the world? Is there any moment when the family says, I am the family? No. It is in you, the ego says, there things are there. Because you think it is appearing. If you don't think, you don't see your body also. If you don't think, you don't see your environment also. If you don't think, the entire existence disappears. What is that existence? The world, the creation disappears. These are all mere thoughts. In my experience, the stillness of mind alone will bring you the true salvation from the bondage of worldly inflictions and the attachments. So don't be afraid of all these things. You should develop a silent zone always in the mind. In silence, as I told you earlier, the I amness, the true awareness, it is an expanded consciousness in which there are no individuals, there are no others, there is no creation, there is no guru, there is no disciple, there are no preachings, there are no teachings, including there is no death and birth also. So, do not be afraid of stopping all these things. Make the mind comfortable. A purified mind is your true nature. We call it in Sanskrit several qualifications of the mind. Those things you don't worry about it. A pure soft mind, we call it in Sanskrit Suddha Sattva mind, is your true nature. Rather, in other words, a thought-free mind is your existence. A thought-free mind will not bring you the cycle of birth and death at all. I can assure you. Because that is the only reality. So, be comfortable. Here, what is that you want to desire? Don't identify anything. Don't make the mind full of thoughts, attachments. How to maintain this body? How to maintain this body? No. When you are sleeping, are you aware of this body? Are you aware of the surroundings? Are you aware of the world? Are you aware of the yoga? Are you aware of the practice? Are you aware of the time? No, is it not? So, don't be afraid of anything. Don't think what others will think about you. No, there are no others. Kindly maintain calmness. Kindly maintain thought-free state of mind. While doing everything in this duality, keep your ego away from it. You are not the doer. The purpose for which this body has come will be done whether you like it or not. That goes on. You be the self, be the awareness. Don't think that you are doing everything. As I told you earlier also, you are an instrument in the hands of Almighty. That means higher power. That will take care of everything. It won't leave you aside. Okay? In fact, silence is a greatest prayer, a mighty prayer also. You need not desire anything. That desirelessness is your reality. You are not the body. You are not the mind. You are not the sense organs. You are that reality eternally in existence. You will be very, very successful, provided you keep your mind still, calm. Don't make the mind, don't make the ego to function of its own, going after the worldly attachments. They're all thoughts only. Okay? God bless you. Be happy always. You need not worry that you lost something, you stopped something. No, nothing like that. Okay? God bless you. God bless you. What you have written is perfectly correct. So long as the mind is intact, so long as the Dehatmapati we call body-mind complex, I am this body, all these things are visible to you. In fact, there is no path. Why do you want to practice either Patanjali or Ramana or Shankara? They say you are not the body, you are that reality. There is no variation in their texts, but approaches may be different. The tip of the mountain is one, the roots may be different, but ultimately there is no Dvaita, there is no Advaita. We only call it the duality and the non-duality. But from the reality point of view, only one thing is in existence, that is the awareness. You cannot know the awareness keeping the ego high. That means I am this body, thought, so long it is intact, you cannot experience the truth. This has to be shelved down. This has to be destroyed. A mind without any thought is nothing but the reality. Don't think there are many paths. In fact, to know the truth, to be the truth, to abide as your reality, to be the self, no shastra is required, no practice is required, because the ego, the individuality is found to be non-existing. When it is non-existing, who has to practice to attain something? Nothing to be attained. I am is the reality. The moment you say, I am so and so, this is my birth, this is my place, this is me, others are there. These are all egoistic approaches. These are all thoughts. In fact, the silence, the vichara, the inquiry is a pathless path. If you say it is a path, that means now it is not there, the goal. After some time, after practicing, you are going to get it. Naturally, that will also disappear. What you are must be available now also, always also, not after some time. So, always that reality is your true nature. It will not disappear as the time passes. You have been experiencing the wakeful state, the dream state, or the deep sleep state, is it not? All these states totally belong to your individuality. You change the bodies from the gross to the subtle and to the still subtle. So, the ego is playing this havoc. The individuality, you feel it is there. So long as you feel I am this body concept, it is very, very difficult retaining this ego to experience the truth. Many saints said many things, there is no doubt. But to be the self, only silence will establish you in that reality. What we call vrittirahitya, worklessness. You need not create the job for the mind. Make the mind still. The stillness of mind, a thought-free mind, will disappear within no time. At the same time, your reality shines. There are no two selves. One is egoistic self, the other one is reality self. Rather, aham spurana self. Rather, awareness self. In other words, it's a conscious self. So, there are not two eyes. One is trying to know the other one. That's not possible at all. So, don't get confused with several paths. You are in the crossroad. Several roads are going in different directions. Each one put a different path into your mind. You do this, you reach the goal. You don't do this, you reach the goal. There is no question of reaching the goal. The moment you introspect yourself, you are at the goal point. In fact, the self-inquiry is nothing but a starting and the finishing point is the same. The moment you inquire, the moment you are still, you are at the destination. You need not travel so much because only one I is in existence. Here, the I which we are referring as an individual entity, saying so many people have said several things. Yes, it is in duality. We call it as illusion. We call it as Maya, which has no real existence at all. Even the teachings or the preachings are also illusions. Don't think they are real. To know yourself, they are not necessary. For example, you have taken your food in the daytime. Okay. At night, during the dream state, you are feeling very hungry. What you will do? That illusionary food you create and then eat and get satisfied in your dream state, is it not? Similarly, in this wakeful state, which is also an illusion, take the words of great saints who says that you are not the body, you are that reality. That teachings, they are also illusions. Just as your hunger is satisfied in the dream state with a dream food, here also the suggestions, the advices of the Guru, whoever you may call, going to remove your ignorance that you are the body, place yourself in the reality. This is what is happening. So, do not bother about the various paths. Do not test each path. You are wasting your time in that process. In fact, when the ego rises, all difficulties rise. Time factor rises. Past, future, present, others, differences. Not only that, the mind, the ego, the limited body-mind complex will create all problems in the form of a thoughts. So you be thought-free. For that you take any method, no problem. What we require is a mind devoid of a thought, as I already told you. So, nothing to achieve new. You cannot lose anything because it is an illusion. You yourself saying that the dream is an illusion, is it not? So long as the dream is intact, you never say those words, the dream is unreal. The moment you have come to the wakeful state, you refer the dream as unreal, is it not? In the same fashion, this wakeful state is also unreal from the self point of view, from the reality point of view. Those who experience the truth, they say the wakeful, the dream state, and the deep sleep state, all the three are illusions created by the ego, that's all. In fact, there is no creation. In fact, there is no Srishti. In fact, there is nothing apart from yourself. The good example is when you are sleeping in deep sleep, do you know where your body is? Do you know where the places is? Do you know the creation? Do you think about God? No. All those things, we call it as Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. They totally disappear the moment you sleep for a short while, is it not? When you abide in the self, other than the self, there is nothing in existence. A simple awareness only prevails. Okay? Don't get confused. Don't think there are many paths. Several people are saying several things. Let them say. The moment you look into them, you are dragged towards that. Why do you want to go outside? When the reality is within you. If you search outside the reality, you cannot get it. You are that reality only. Look within, look within, look within. That is, be still, and know I am is God, I am is the self, I am is the reality. Jesus Christ also said the same thing, is it not? The kingdom of heaven is within you. What is the kingdom of heaven? It is the awareness, it is the I amness, it is the self, full of awareness only, full of consciousness. I hope you understood what I mean. Everyone is conscious of Shastras, conscious of different paths, conscious of surroundings, conscious of great gurus, conscious of places, but you are not conscious of consciousness. The moment you are conscious of consciousness, that is the final point, that is the total liberation from the bondage of externalities. Nothing will bind you. You will be free from all the clutches of bondage. You will be thought free. The self is not a thought. The aham spurana, I amness, is not a thought. It is a perfect existence, a formless and expanded consciousness. That is my experience. I cannot pass on to you in this Maya. It's not possible. So you have to introspect, come to the silent zone, come to the stillness. You are the self even now. You don't get anything new. So silence is the only way to be the reality. Okay? God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Do not worry about siddhis. Do not worry about the miracles. Do not worry about vibhutis. So long as the ego is intact, siddhis are bound to be there to some people. Even after realization also, siddhis may be there. They are the obstructions for the reality. So, you please don't bother about those things. How Shankara could leave the body and enter into another body. How Krishna Paramatma executed his vibhutis. These are all immaterial for abiding in the self. Do not go in that way. Okay? Be still, and know I am is the reality. God bless you.